Yo. Wow, this is incredible.
It's almost like a painting.
Yeah. Andrew, here's how we're going to test the theory of evolution, right? We're going to push you over and we'll see if you can evolve into a bird by the time you fall down.
Yeah, is that okay?
Is that...
Evolve quicker.
Evolve quicker. It's quite a nice heckle put down. I have to say, Phil, it does put my mind to great periods of time.
Okay. Yeah.
I see millions of years.
But what do I know? So we're meeting an expert, Professor Don Prothero, a geologist who's been working at the canyon for 35 years.
One of the first things I want to make clear is that I am a scientist. We deal only with natural forces and things that we can observe and test in nature. You can see the layers of the earth pile up one on top of another in a place like this better than just about anywhere else. Immense amounts of time are required to deposit that, cement it into hard sandstone and shale, tilt it, erode it. Your minimum estimates is hundreds of millions of years.
Don, thank you for your talk so far. Number one, your assumption was naturalism.
Yes.
And your second assumption was uniformitarianism.
As all scientists around the world are.
Well, not all scientists. That would be a false statement, so it would.
Well, all scientists I'm aware of.
Really? So you've never read any creationist literature?
Oh, I've read them. I don't count them as scientists.
Ah, right, okay.
The point is that, as far as I understand in creationism, there's a belief that this is to do with the biblical flood, correct?
Yeah.
Could this be a giant flood?
Let me address that.
If the biblical flood really did create the Grand Canyon, it would need to have carved out curved valleys, like here at Horseshoe Bend. Don thinks this is impossible because flood water cuts along straight lines.
My understanding of creationist literature, and I don't claim to have read as much of it as you have, obviously, is that the post-flood water is drained off. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, one of two. The post-flood waters or...
If your post-flood waters drain off, they're going to drain off and form a sharp, straight canyon. That's simple physics. Just release the water gently onto the surface. And as we let it go, we'll see what it does. There you go. So porous, it drains in there pretty fast. Well, hardly enough to even get much of a call. We got a grain flow.
Amazing. Deep.
But it's also very straight. That's typical flood situations all around the world. This is simple geomorphology. This is the way we look at the landforms of the earth and watch them evolve in real time.
From our perspective, obviously, we would see things kind of differently.
Oh, obviously.
As for the Horseshoe Bend stuff here and here, I'm not a trained geologist, so I think to try and answer a question in regards to that would be very silly.
Okay.
Phil might not have much to say, but he's definitely making an impression on Abdul.
Phil said the Grand Canyon was made by the flood. He's just dropped that one in. I don't know where it says in the Bible the Grand Canyon was made by a flood, but he's kind of just adopted it as a cornerstone of his belief.
Is anybody here in any way less convinced?
Not really.
50-50.
I'm not less convinced just because this is just one thing.
But it's his water. It's his gravity, right? You know, but it's his stuff.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know?
So he can do what he wants with it,
Yeah,
right?
of course he can.
So he doesn't have to abide by any other laws, right? Because it's his,
That's
after
fine,
all.
but as a scientist, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
It would seem odd that he would just once off do something different with water than what he does everywhere else on his creation. I don't really know where we can take this with people who, when shown the most basic nature of water, go, well, maybe he changed his mind once. Maybe God decided to do something different with water. You know, under those sort of circumstances, it's hard to know.